Good evening, Florida, and good middle of the night, Prague. My name is Peter, and you know what you are tuning back to. It's the only show on the internet that takes real life creator stories and serves them in digestible 25 to 40-minute long segments. We talk origin stories, we talk good practices, we talk how and where to begin. Today, I have a bit of a cinnamon celebrity with me as my guest. You might know him from our tweets as a two-time creator of the month. He can murder you on the dance floor without even touching you. It's Anthony Cabrera, also known as B-Boy Omen. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here. Awesome. This is great.
Well, we're really glad that you took the time to, join us and talk about your creative story and all those things. We like to start the show with a bit of an icebreaker. And, I was dying to ask you this. Breakdancing on the Paris Olympics, on the upcoming Olympics. How do you feel about that? Tell me all your thoughts about it.
It's something. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's something that I saw since I was a young boy, or even thought of it. It was something as I matured in the dance. It was I saw as an opportunity, or maybe an avenue, possibly. So there was organizations trying to make this happen. Other entities that are b-boys as well. Like in Texas, there's a place called Break Free, and they do a lot of work with the youth there. And the guy that runs that, his name is B-Boy Moy, and he went to I think it was the Buenos Aires, like Junior Olympics, like like a test trial type thing. And he got the experience. He came back to the States, and a lot of people started conversing about it, and the movement started happening, man. And I'm just happy that it's finally here, like it's finally official. And opportunities now are going to be endless for people like me that live the culture. And we, I'm a dancer. That's what I do. I have a regular job, but I still dance like 3 times a week and
Yeah.
compete heavily and do all this stuff. So I'm very excited to see what possibilities, like even being a coach or judging an Olympic
Mm.
event. Like these are possibilities that could be open for me, or just like the youth that are under me, the guys that practice with me, the younger guys that I can be like, look, guys, this is an avenue. You could be a gold Olympian medalist. Like it's a possibility. So
That
it's great, man. It's great.
that's I think it's like crazy cool. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it. I know quite a few people who are in different sort of sports that are trying to sort of legitimize their sport through the Olympics. So
Mhm.
I think this is a big step for your field. Side note, who do you think is going to be the top three medalists for breakdancing? Who are going to be the top three dominant countries?
To be honest with you, man, Japan and Russia, they got it down packed. They got
Mm.
it. Like Japan and Russia, like Russia too. Wow. Like it's really serious over there. And Japan too, but like I don't know. Brazil has a good chance too. They have really good athletes out there that do the dance very well, and young athletes too, Uh it can go any way, man. I know the US, we created the dance and all that, but Europe took it to a whole nother level, to a bigger stage, and just like, it's just crazy, So it's I can't wait to see. I don't know, but I got my money on either Russia or Japan,
Okay, well,
they're really good.
for those of you out there who are betting, you you know which way to look. It's Russia and Japan.
Telling you,
Um,
they got beasts in Russia, man.
Yeah, you can. Well, I did see I did see actually quite a lot of Russians on the internet every time I scroll to, like, there's quite a lot of Russians on the internet
It's a
dancing.
big scene out there when it comes on to breakdancing, man. It's pretty interesting. It's crazy.
It's perfect. Well, since this is a creator story, this is your creator story. To people listening out there, could you give us a bit of an intro about yourself? How did you become a creator, basically? Like, what's the story behind Anthony?
Well, born in Boston, Massachusetts, in a city called Lynn. Lived there for most of my life, all the way until high school. But I always had a family in New York, so I was always coming back and forth from Boston to New York. It's like a 4-hour drive. And you still get to like go to New York and see some of the underground influences, as far as like, where it comes from and the culture and all that stuff. So I grew around it all around, all my life, but I was always into sports. Until I got to high school. In high school, I had an injury. I was playing football and I broke my ankle. They told me that I couldn't, play anymore, this and that, whatever it may be. Well, I had my friends that were breaking, and they always used to pick me up and take me to parties and stuff like that. So once I started getting into that vibe, started practicing. I started you know, like getting my physique right and learning the culture and being a part of it. And I just I just grew with it, man. And as I was growing, I was seeing more of the theater side. So that's where I went. Like I did competitions. I was doing like a little bit of both. I did competitions, but you know, my first gig, my first ever big gig was with Break the Irving Funk Spectacular. It was a Broadway show, off Broadway show that was running in the early 2000s, and I did that for like 3 years. And that was like my first really big gig that I was touring and like, you know, acting, singing, doing all of that, dancing, and I stuck to that. And through that, that's when I saw people having cameras and, you know, recording things, and I'm like, man, I wanna get into this. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want to make it, you know, I want to make something that looks like crazy, like just make some stuff up, you know. And I mean, that's like the beginning, you know. As I got into the business of it as theater, I got access more to like behind the scenes lighting, camera, and how to do this and how to edit, and you know, just
Mm.
placing myself around all these people that have all these tremendous talents. And you know, I picked up and learned on my own how to edit and what software to get and what's the best picture and what's 24 frame per second compared to 60 frame per second. Like, you know what I mean? Like these little things that make you know, a video look like a film or a video look like a video,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
you know? So it's like, you know, that's like what I can say, like my creator journey as far as a film, like filming stuff kind of like started, but I've always been a creative since I was a kid, you know, like always had a crazy imagination. I'm 37 years old. I'm still, you know, rolling around over here like I'm 17. So
Oh, that's it's good. I love your energy. You got the energy of a 22-year-old. You know, you
yeah,
say you're
yeah,
37,
man.
man.
You know, life is exciting, man. We out here, we're living it. It's live, it's for real. You know what I mean? I could touch it. Ah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we in here. You know, we gotta go out there and we gotta explore, learn. You know, we don't have a lot of time here, man. We don't have a lot of time here.
So, when did you start at when did you started taking all these videos and putting them online and putting them for people to see? Actually, did you start it from the start, or is it like just a recent thing for you?
Nah, man. I started a long time ago. I used to post it on Facebook when Facebook first started. I used to post just my shenanigans with my friends and stuff. You know, like I was like 21, 22. I'm on tour. I'm chilling with some of my good friends. We're going crazy. Okay, like there's a lot of things are happening. So I'm recording a lot of our adventures. I'm recording a lot of our like you know, our shows and stuff like that behind the scenes. So I would just put all these little shorts, and I used to call them straight cuts.
Okay.
I used to call them straight cuts, like back in the days, like just put these little shorts, and it was just all me and my friends just acting wild and stupid, and that's how I kind of got like a little bit more familiar with other like on the like mobile editing, because I was always on either on a flight or, you know, going to another country or this and that. So it was interesting, but that's when I started. And then when all this Facebook stuff came up and all that, I mean, not Facebook, Instagram, and they was able to have like videos, then I got a little more creative, because at first it was only a 15-second window. So in 50 seconds, what can you show, you know? So it was a little bit of a challenge for me. So I started getting into that, and that's, you know, it took off after that, man.
Yeah, can you imagine? So, so your first public video that was a Facebook thing, then is that correct to
Yeah,
assume?
yeah, it was just like for fun, you know, like just hanging, like, or I would do practice videos of just watching myself progress, you know, to see the progress. Like I'll practice tonight, I'll record it, and I'll edit it, and I'll make it look all nice, save it, and then I'll practice 2 months from now, compare the video, see where you know what I mean? Like it was just one of those things.
That's crazy cool because yeah, I guess your videos help you see the achievement that you get, right? So
Yeah, and also it gives you an idea if the movement is visually pleasing, you know, because a lot of people get stuck
mm,
on feeling the movement, and I like that. I like to feel good when I dance, of course, and look good when I dance, but I want to see if the movement looks appealing as well, if it's clean, it's fast, it's swift, you know what I mean? So I always pay attention to my footage just to elevate my skill to the best of to my ability.
yeah, that's really cool. For those of us who maybe aren't in the in the dancing industry in general, if you call yourself B-boy Omen.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? If you could elaborate to our listeners and to me.
Okay. When you say b-boy means the like breaking on the break, like he's a boy that breaks on the break of
Cool.
a record, so he's a break boy, a
Okay.
b-boy.
Yeah.
So b-boy, you know, boy that breaks on the break of a record. So basically back in the 70s and the 80s, when there would be funk songs, there would be like singing, and it would be like high intensity, and then there will be a break where the drummer goes off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was the time when the b-boys used to show up to the parties and dance with the girls, right? They would be dancing with the girls, and then when the break happens, then they'll clear the floor, and then they'll show up. They'll show off. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm the best dancer here," because that break was the time that you had to, do it up and show out. So
That's
that
cool.
was this is in the Bronx in the 70s. This is like my uncles and my elders that passed on the knowledge to me, and this is just something that it's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where b-boy comes from. And then your street name, it could be a name that people will call you since you was a little kid, somebody that knows you around the hood, or you know what I mean, like in your neighborhood, and they just give you a nickname. So that could be your b-boy name, or it can be something associated to the way that you dance, or the attitude that you have, or somebody that dubs you with a b-boy name has to be either an elder in the dance floor or somebody that knows you for a long time. And
So, so where does Omen come from? Who bestowed this name upon you? Give a
yeah,
shout out.
the person that bestowed the name on me was his name is B-Boy Po One. Po One. He's from Puerto Rico. He's a elder in the game. He's started in the 80s and stuff, and he's part of this crew called Style Elements Crew from the West Coast, and they kind of like revolutionized a lot of this breaking stuff. They went to Europe. They represented in Europe as the USA Collective, and competed in various competitions in the early like 90s. So they set the tone for a lot of the things. So one competition, I was young in the game, didn't have a b-boy name at all, and I ended up winning with my friends in the 5-on-5. And I talked to the judges. He was one of the judges, Po One, and he didn't know who I was, but he was impressed how I was dancing, because I was a very stocky kid, and I was doing a lot of like crazy aerial movements.
Yeah.
And this is his exact words. At the time, he didn't dub me Omen, but this was his exact words. He was like, "When I saw you on the line with your group, I thought you could either be a bad Omen or a good Omen, but you know what? I was willing to watch." You know what I mean? And like he just said it like that. Hours later, hours later, we're all hanging out, just after the competition. We're having something to eat, a bite. Everybody's just sharing information, and because everybody's from different places. So he comes up to me. He's like, "Man, I got the best name for you, bro." He looks at this dictionary and he pulls it out, and he's like, "Yo, Omen." He's like, "What I said earlier, it's a sign. It can mean a good thing or a bad thing. I think that would be good because you're unpredictable. You don't know, you don't really know with you, man. Like, you're a big guy. You look kind of aggressive, but then when you talk to you got a squeaky voice, and you're like mad happy." You know what I'm saying? So it was like he said all of this to me. He blew my mind. I was just like, all right, man. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, if that's what it is, but it just, once he said it, it was it.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, "Yeah, Omen, that's Omen. Yeah, that was it. Worldwide, Omen, people Omen." That's it.
That's cool, dude. How long ago was this?
This was years ago, man. This has to be at least like 18, 19 years ago.
18, 19 years ago. Well, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. That's a really slick origin story. All right.
That's what it is, man. That's what happened.
With your dancing especially, do you get to experience the world a lot? Because you do mention quite a lot of different nations across the world. You did mention in the early bits that they travel a bit. So tell me, like, is dance something that enables you to see the world in a way?
Dance is something that changed my life completely, man, because it was once I made that move to explore New York on my own when I graduated high school, and I just kind of just wanted to go out there and see what I can do. I did what everybody else does. They go to move to the big city, they get with an agency, and then you go and do auditions. And I feel I didn't make a lot of auditions, but then I booked some auditions, and then off the strength of that, I got to connect with other dancers that were in the scene as well, that were really known. They were really known, and they were like playing both sides. So they would connect me with promoters. Let's say they would wanna see me go up against a French dancer or a German dancer or a Russian dancer. There will actually be a budget in Europe because usually in Europe they have a budget to like make events like that.
Yeah.
So over here it's very difficult to do that. Like for us to like throw an event, you got to go through like super loopholes. You know what I mean? So it's
Really?
like, yeah, and it's a lot of money that you got to pay off and all that stuff. In Europe, it's a little bit easier. So they would have all these international events, and they will fly out some talent from the U.S. And fortunately, at the time, I got chosen a few times to be part of like a USA team or to represent some sort of entity as a USA dancer in Europe. So that's I went everywhere, man. I was in Germany, France, Russia, Taiwan. And this is all off the strength of just me being able to do what I do, and they just want to see it. You know what I mean? So, like, they didn't know me from nowhere. They just saw a whole bunch of videos of me. They're like, oh, we need to get in contact with this guy. And then it's just like, okay, cool, and then build relations like that. And, that's why I love to dance because I have friends all around the world now. You know what I mean? And we still keep in contact. And still, if there's events that I'm able to either judge or to be a part of, they still call me. They're like, dude, don't worry. We'll get you the ticket. We'll get you the place. We got the budget. Like, all right, let's go.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
that's a really, when you think about it, life-changing decision that you've made. That's something that really, really enriched you as a person. I mean, I spoke to you prior to this before, and I always feel like when you tell me stories about your exploring, or like you exploring the world, it's so rich and it's so different from anything that I hear from other people. Most people, they get on a plane, they go to Morocco, they have some tea, they come back, and that's it. But you you tell me all these stories that you
Man,
meet
you
these
you have to
people.
understand. Like the thing about it is, it's just that like I come from a hip hop culture, hip hop perspective. So for us to go to like a country, I want to integrate myself with the low income families, with the community centers, with the you know what I mean. Like when I
Yeah,
would go
yeah,
to
yeah.
France, I would go to these community centers and I would teach class for free. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean. Like that's the whole point of hip hop. Like it's a community thing. It's a community based thing. So when I would go to these countries, I wouldn't stay in the hotel. I would go to the slums. I would go to
Yeah,
the
that's cool.
to the places that like that need like culture. Like
Yeah.
hip hop. Basically what it is. And when I would travel, that's how I would go to the hood and I would meet people and I would just have the same energy. Like, hey man, look, I'm a b-boy, man. I ain't trying to come here do nothing else but dance. I got skills. Check me out. Whoa, man, that's crazy. How do I get involved? How do I do that? Yeah, come over here to this community center. Da, da, da. I got classes going on for the next 2 weeks coming, you know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
something productive to do for the kids other than just like play video games and do other things that probably is gonna get them in trouble. So
No,
like that's the whole main focus of the hip hop culture.
yeah. Well, that's actually really cool. Like you get to, I mean, I haven't traveled as much as you. I mean, I'm getting there one day. But I always find that like when you kind of skip the sort of touristy nonsense, you know what I mean? Like you go to the Eiffel Tower and all that sort of stuff. When you go to like meet people, that's when you really like get a
Mm-hmm.
taste of something. But like I never thought about it like connecting through hip hop. That is, to me, that's mind blowing right now. I don't even know how to continue because I wanna I wanna think about it for a while. But that is really cool. Um would you say like which country like that you've traveled, like which do you have the fondest memories of? I kind of know, but I do want to ask you now, like which country was.
I always say France, man. France has always been a good like at first it's like hard love. You know what I mean? Like I remember the first time 2005, I remember I went out there and I competed on a 2-on-2 and it was with me and my best friend step 2 and this is the first time anybody seen us and we went over there over prepared. We were ready. Like we was like this is happening. We're going to have these routines on check and we're going to have our bodies on check that way we won't fail when we need to deliver. When we went over there, we beat every team. Every time we beat a team, we will get booed and trash thrown at us. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
I
oh,
can
American,
imagine.
American, And I'm like, oh, snap, what the heck is going on? This is new to me. So I'm like, all right, but you know what? At the end, we earned their respect, and then they ended up flying me out there like 4 or 5 more times. So it was
Yeah.
just like, experiencing just like even the high class, would you say, chilling in Champs-Elysees, walking down the Eiffel Tower, and doing all of that. That's cool. But then I went to the hood, you know what I'm saying? And it was a different experience, and it was cool, man, because they embraced me, they showed me love, and it wasn't like it was real, you know what I mean? It wasn't like on some, oh, you American, you come over here, this and that. Nah, it was like, dude, this guy got skills. He came over here, he's sharing the skills. It's a good dude, and let's build. And always France is gonna be on the top, even though like I got in some funny situations out there.
No, that sounds really
Yeah,
funny.
man, it's
Sounds like a
crazy.
it sounds like a good movie, to be made. So if you're a film producer out there, I got B-Boy man on my Twitter. I can get you in touch. There's a good movie in the making over here, I can
Put
tell.
it this way, man. I've never really held a regular job ever in my life. I've been dancing since I was 18. I'm 37, and I'm still doing the same thing. And it's just been a crazy roller coaster. I've been part of like theater shows. I've done commercials. I've been part of like sports teams and all this other stuff. So it's like for me, stories, bro. Because I never say no. I've always liked to experience things. So somebody says, "Yo, man, let's jump off a plane and do this." Okay, yeah, let's do that. I mean, that way I could just tell the story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. We gotta live, man. Like I said, we have a short time. We gotta live.
Yeah, it sounds like you're living for a few of us. So that's that's really cool. I'm assuming you wouldn't change it for anything, would you?
Nah, man.
That's I like to
It's
hear that.
something. These experiences you can't buy with money. And it's just one of those things. Like I would rather I would not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't care having everything like technology, house, and all this other crazy if I didn't have my experiences. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people, because of my profession. I'm around a lot of like stars, and I get to sit down and chat with these people, and they're living horrible lives, and and on their gram, it's like they got everything they want. But they're just like, dude, I'm missing a friend, or it's just the simplest thing, the littlest things, like, and it's just lack of experience because they just keep doing the same thing, same thing, same thing, just to get this money. And then when you get this money, it's already that's it. It's you like what? Like you're in your 45, you're 50 years old. You're trying to get on testosterone for you could live your life out, and you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
you missed on a lot of things. You know what I mean? It's like nah, man. I understand. For to each his own. But I like to work hard and I like to play hard. So I have a balance of both. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah, I know
need too
what you mean.
much to live in all reality.
No, I mean,
Like
I like that attitude. I was listening to this, like, I can't remember her name, but she's basically a psychologist, did a study, right? And
mhm.
apparently, once you earn 75K, money doesn't make you give you any additional happiness. So anything after 75K, yeah, you're just miserable with money. And the only thing that truly like keeps your endorphins flowing is experiences. So she apparently does this thing where they always buy each other with her husband. They buy themselves like holidays and stuff because it's an experience, and it's just like they don't buy each other material things. And I think that's what you're doing. You're living the high life, dude. Yeah, like you seem like a collection of experiences, and I think that's really good, dude. That's like
Yeah, man, it's all about sharing it too, man. And that's what I do, like I'll talk about any of my experiences, like I've gotten, man, there's so much things, you know what I mean? Like so many things, like getting robbed or getting in a scrapped or, you know what I'm saying? Or like getting arrested. And it's like the randomest thing, it's things that happen in life. But then, I've been through it and I know, I came out clean on the other side and I'm, it's just more knowledge that I have and more awareness to how to deal with people. You know what I mean? Because everybody's different.
yeah,
So those experiences have guided me to make better decisions in my life. You know what I mean? So
that's awesome.
it's just one of those things.
So if there's a young kid in Bronx or California or Florida or Boston, and he or she is like super into dancing, or he's dancing, and they want to become a content creator, what would you be your tips? What would be your tips to start?
Start with what you got. If you have a phone, which most likely you have a nice little Android or a nice little iPhone, because that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And do start with the phone app of editing, and then just start playing with that. It's all about it's kind of like painting, but with video. That's how I do it. You know what I mean? That's how I view it. I can't paint. I can't draw for nothing. Like I can try to do graffiti or something. I can paint Garfield maybe. I mean, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when I do my video stuff, I feel I feel like I'm painting, like it's a canvas. Like it's just like, oh, this piece supposed to go here and this one's supposed to come next. And then I want to make this look dark, or I want to make this look red, or I want to make, according to the music and how it makes me feel at the time. This is just self-expression things. I never really thought that, people might actually like this type of stuff that I'm doing, but it started mostly just for me. Like, to have kind of like a discography of my journey in video. That way, when I get older and I have my kids and their grandkids or whatever, I'll be like, look, I did all of this. Look at this craziness. Like it's all on video. Boo! Like, you know what I mean? Like, whoa! Like, you what? And it's like, yeah, I documented everything, all from since I was 18 all the way until now, and I'm gonna keep documenting from 37 all the way until like I'm 57. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna
Very
still
true.
dance and still try and get hurt and get up and keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Basically, your job is to make your grandkids look like punks. Like all your grandkids, like the moment they stop playing video games, why are you playing video games? Look what I did when I was your age. She's like doing crazy spins.
Man, like that's what I say to the kids, man. Go out there and get ideas and really don't have no fear, Fear is
Yeah,
one of the main things that prevents everybody from doing things. Have no fear, man. Like just go out there and just record anything you want and try to make it look how you want it to look, And then from there, there's always gonna be certain people that are gonna, feel what you're trying to project. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you mean.
It might be everybody or it might be one, but at least you got one. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's only one person, then I'm good, man. It's cool. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm not looking for stardom. You know what I'm saying? Like unless that person's looking for stardom, but that's just what it is. That's how I feel about
Yeah, but just be real. Yeah,
it.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. That's so for those of you listening out, that's your advice. For this episode of Creative Stories. Um, a very important thing that I always need to talk to creators on creator stories is something called the imposter syndrome, and I'm sure you're more than aware of it. Everyone knows it exists. And my question to you is, it's a question that I ask everyone: is are you a success in your own eyes? Are you successful? Are you a success, or do you think that there are milestones that you need to hit, that you need to cross before you're gonna sit down and think, I've done it?
I don't like yes, I think I'm successful, but I always put maybe short-term goals, you
Yeah,
know, just to keep going, just to keep that momentum high, like
yeah, yeah.
there's always something that you can do better. There's always something that you can do better. So even though I feel successful, yeah, I'm happy, got some money in the bank, I don't owe no money to nobody. I own
Yeah.
my car, you know what I'm saying? Like I live in a little apartment, and I get crazy sometimes here and there. I'm happy, I'm successful, I'm great. Like I don't ask for much in the world, like if you give me a floor and some music, most of the time I'm just gonna be using the floor and the music and the computer, and that's it. And I'll cook here and there, but I don't know, man. I'm just like talking, but like I feel successful though, man. I feel great. Like I feel great, and I know there's always more. Like I do want to get into like getting my own house, and that's like the next step. And
Yeah.
like at the same time, I'm still planning trips and still teaching my students and still building and still like I said, I work hard and I play hard.
Yeah.
Like that's just basically that's the balance.
Yeah, no, no.
So do I feel successful? Yeah, of course. Yes, I do.
Well, yeah, coming from T Cinnamon, we've been watching you. We've been slowly stalking your career. We all think you're really successful. We all think you are doing an amazing job. And from this interview on, like the fact that you seem to like enjoy your life is like the biggest seller for me. So yeah, 100%, dude, 100%. You're living the high life. I can tell you that.
It's like we're here, man. We don't have a lot of time, bro. Let's live, let's build, let's build as much as we can, and then leave the legacy. That's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. This being a cinnamon show, I like to lead the conversation into few cinnamon stuff, a few cinnamon things, if you will. And since I have a direct line with the dev team, what would you like to see from cinnamon in the future, if there's anything?
What I like to see, I mean, you guys are doing a really good job as far as the aesthetics and like how it looks and like even the service of it. Like it's pretty fast. It's getting better. There's
Mm.
less glitches and stuff like that. Of course, I would like to I don't know if you can upload through the app yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but in the future, like I already see that in the future, because there'd be some little shorts that I'll do like randomly, and I'll edit on my phone, and I'll be like, oh, I want to upload it. Oh, I gotta wait till I get home. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things. Like that. I found myself doing that, so it's like okay, I'll just wait until they get that settled. But for the most part, man, I think you guys are doing a really great job, man, and I'm spreading this awareness, and people are like listening. They're like, oh, so this is a new. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, you want to build an audience, you want to do, you can come over here, you can do that, and there's plenty of room for a lot of people here to grow in their art form, and to grow a new like a new audience. So it's like, dude, what are you guys waiting for?
Yeah, no, there's plenty. Yeah. So if you're out there and you're listening and you want to put your art on Cinnamon, whatever it is, especially dancing seems to be like a really cool one at the moment. Please come join us. We're here. We have a very active customer support service who's no bots. It's actually me. So if you want to have a chit chat, just use this service. Okay, come on. Uh, so anyone out there who's never been to Cinnamon and who's listening to the show for the first time, because believe it or not, we're on multiple platforms now, including Spotify. Whoa. What? If they're listening, how would you pitch them Cinnamon so they would be like, oh, I must get on this now?
I'll be like this. I'll be like, yo, you an artist? Yes. Do you like to do music, visual, dance, whatever it may be? Yes. Okay, cool. This is what you need to do, because if you go over here, you might get a little something, but if you come over here, you're gonna get a whole lot of, you know what I mean? No, I'm just but along the lines of that, I would just, the way that I convince like my friends to come up here, it's just that I tell them, I'm like, look, listen, look at the odds right now. YouTube is congested. Do you really want to get your art out there? YouTube is too congested. Like, you bring it to a new platform, you gain new people, and then the people that you already had are gonna come over here and be a part of it. You know what I mean? And then what's gonna happen? Your audience is gonna go crazy, because there's less distractions. There's more of a focus line. You know what I mean? There's more of a, because it's like YouTube is like so much things. You go to the YouTube and it's just like craziness. It's like this and that and all that. I'm like, you can't stay focused. If I go there looking for one thing, let's say like a knee stretch or something, I'm gonna go over there and look at the hottest tech, and then forget about that I needed a stretch. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you go in there and it's like all these craziness. So I feel that Cinnamon is more cleaner, it's more to the point, and it's better connectivity with real audience, because at YouTube you have a lot of people that are just there to troll, that are just there to just waste time and just, be assholes, you know what I mean? So it's like,
I know.
It's like one of those things that is just like that's another point that I always make, because I'm like, look, I'm talking to people and they're really responding to me, and these are people that I've met for the first time, and we're building relationships with Cinnamon. You know what I mean? It's like, this is dope. You know what I mean? Like, you come over here. That's what I keep saying. I'm like, keep coming.
That's perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you very much for that one. I have another question for you. You wake up in a year from now, okay, and President Biden declares breakdancing illegal. What's the next dance you will learn? What's the dance that you will go for to replace
the dance that I'll be dancing to the airport, going to France, because I'm on the move. You know what I'm saying? Because that's it. That's what? Oh man, I'm out. Thank you, USA. I'm out of here. Peace has been a blessing.
Well, if you need to set up in Europe, you have everyone in Cinnamon lives in Europe. Well, most of us actually. So give us a shout. Give us a shout. You got a place to stay.
I'll go out there. I'll teach classes. Now that the Olympic situation is happening, hey, I'm an American b-boy that came from the realness. I have uncles that danced this in the 80s, and I can be the coach. I could be the trainer. I could be whatever I got skills.
You can crush it. You can crush it easily, especially like, if you go from like Prague East, and you're just everyone's gonna love you. There's American dancer coming here. Please teach me Amerikanski dancer. It's gonna.
Hey, I'll do it, man. Like I still haven't gone out there yet. Prague, like that you said, Prague, right?
Yeah, everything Prague and East. You should definitely come. You should definitely come.
I have a few friends that I've taken that trip out there to compete, because there's been competitions out there.
Yeah,
breakdancing competition. It's like underground stuff though. But yeah, man, for sure, I'll definitely make that trip out there for sure.
definitely come. Let me know. Let me know.
Yeah,
We'll
man,
do
for
some. We'll
sure,
do
bro.
some Czech stuff. Aside from that though, what is besides for breakdancing? What would be your second like favorite dance genre? Do you have one? If you don't worry about it. I'm putting you on the spot here, but I just thought it
Nah, nah,
matter.
nah. It's cool. Second dance genre. Like to be honest with you, I like ballet. I
Nice.
tried it a little bit. It
Yeah.
didn't fit well because I'm more of an aggressive big guy,
Okay.
but it helps. It helps a lot with what we do. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
like the strength, like the little muscles
Yeah.
that count. Because this is a
Mm.
very strength based dance. With the hands and the feet and all that. But
Yeah.
ballet is so effortless, and then they make it look effortless, and it's sometimes I
Yeah.
look at that and I want to see if I can transcend that airness of it into breaking just to make myself look lighter, just to understand the movement. So it's always been an interest to me in just how I see how they move and how they elongate things and all that. And it's just mostly stretching and repetitiveness and all that other stuff. But it's a discipline, man, and I respect it a lot. And it's something that once I see like little shows and stuff like that, or I'll put on YouTube and I just look to see how they move, because they move crazy.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of ballet. I've been to a few ballet shows and stuff, and I
Hmm.
did try to like I did try one lesson of ballet, and like it's insane. Like
It, it,
shout out to all you ballet
yeah,
dancers out
man.
there. You're
It's
crushing
hard,
it.
bro. It's hard. It's no joke. That's why I respect it because I tried it and I was like, okay, yeah, this is not this is not for me right now. I can't do this.
Maybe that's why Russians are crushing it in breakdancing as well. I mean, they have one of the best ballet dancers in the world. It's
Discipline, bro.
country's dancers,
Like
man.
I don't know, man. They just talent, man. They got talent out there for sure. For sure, they got talent out there.
Yeah, they definitely do. Anthony, would you like? We're slowly getting to the end of the show. Would you like to give any shout outs?
Uh, Hey, shout out to Supreme Beans Crew. That's my group. They're from Queens, New York, and there's a lot of us. There's like 25 plus of us. Some of us are heavy in the competitive dance scene. Some of us are heavy DJs, MCs, creators. We're all different, but we all have one similarity. We love the dance culture, and we love we love each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a big family. So um shout outs to Supreme Beans Crew. Shout outs to Cinnamon Dot Video because they gave me a chance to, be a part of this and share my story and share what I'm going through right now. Because every time I put like a breaking video of just me practicing, it's just not me. It's not just me moving. It's me expressing myself to the daily struggles of my life too. I let go of a lot of things when I move in those manners, and to put it on video and to share that with people and actually get like love for it, that's like the best feeling in the world because I'm putting myself out there. I'm being vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's how I see it when I put these videos up. Because in the past it wasn't. What I'm saying, it was a lot of mixed feelings, and I have grown. And Cinnamon made that available for me, so I'm very much appreciative to
yeah.
be a part of Cinnamon Dot Video. So
No,
shout outs to them
we
and
really
shout out
we're
to the
really
whole
thankful
world,
to have
man.
you. Yeah.
Shout out to the whole world. We out here. We living. Like I said, we living right now. It's real. Stop playing. There's aliens everywhere. And I'm just playing.
He's on to us. No, that's awesome. Well, yeah, thank you from Team Cinnamon. We're really happy that you found our platform and that you've managed to join us. It was really amazing to get you not only as a creator but also as a guest on Creator Stories. If people want to follow you outside of Cinnamon, where can they follow you?
You can go to Instagram, the Omen One, THEON, no, MEN1. Oh, the Omen One altogether.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much it. And on Twitter, it's I don't even know, Anthony Omen, I think it is. Like Twitter, I started Twitter so long ago. I use it from time to time, but it's mostly for cryptocurrency because I just like to keep myself updated. But
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah, no,
crypto.
Instagram is the one I use the most, and a cinnamon dot video. B-boy Omen. I'm there posting. I got my little show called Tap In. It's just brief descriptions of like my crew and myself, battles that we've been in the past, things that are happening now, or things that I just want to review, but it just has to do a lot with my crew and myself. I'm not really talking upon anybody else, but these are, real battles that happen. And, I do a little commentary as is happening, just to give it a little bit more texture and information.
Yeah. Well, thank
Tap
you for
in.
that. I will tap in. I will feature, we will definitely feature all of your socials in the sort of in the comment section, sorry, in the description below this video,
For sure.
or audio, wherever we're uploading it right now.
Mhm.
That said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in once again to Creative Stories. My guest today was Anthony Cabrera, aka B-Boy Omen, one of the best creators we have on cinema, and two-time creator of the month. So a pretty big deal.
Snap.
He
Oh,
is a
snap.
person who's managed to get around the world, lived 1,000 lives, and I believe that his story is one of the more inspiring ones we get to got to do on the show. So thank you for coming on the show. My name was Peter. Make sure to follow Cinnamon on our Instagram, on our Twitter, and all the other social medias, which also will be linked below. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.
For sure. Peace, peace.